How's everyone doing? This video is strictly to help anyone, and I mean anyone, who wants to have an accelerated life. This is the biggest life hack that you can do, especially if you're an 18-year-old kid, you don't know what you want to do, don't know what career you want, don't know if you want to go to college or not. Everybody knows college is a systematic scam. You're going to go to college, you're going to go in debt, and you're probably going to get a degree in something you don't even know if you want to do for the rest of your life. Then you have to find a job opportunity. But life is full of struggle and sacrifices, and life is full of discipline. And the older you get, the more that you see that life is routine. So if you're an 18-year-old kid, if you're in your 20s or even your, early 30s, this is the perfect plan for you. I'm not saying this is my opinion. I'm not saying this to persuade you to join the military, because like I said, life is full of struggles and sacrifices. And to join the military is a lot of struggling and sacrificing and leaving your hometown and exploring options and doing the uncomfortable, being comfortable with doing the uncomfortable. It's scary. It's a big life change, but it's the best option that you have, especially straight out of high school. Military is the best option that you have if you're the average person who didn't live some advanced life, right? Some rich kid life. And I'm gonna tell you why, because we all know that the military pays for your education benefits. It's all about how you utilize your time and use it wisely. It's not about hard work paying off. It's about putting in the work in the right areas, and that's what pays off. This is the best thing. I'm telling you, everybody says, so if you're 18, 20s, 30s, whatever the case is, or you're already in the military, I'm about to tell you how to advance your life, to get that wealth, to get that degree. Everybody says the post 9/11 GI Bill. You don't want the post 9/11 GI Bill. It's good if you get out and then you want to go to college, but now you have time wasted because you just spent 4 to 6 years in the military. Now you're going to spend another 3 to 4 years only making BAH and getting paid to go to college. Screw that. You want what nobody talks about, the Montgomery GI Bill. The Montgomery GI Bill is beautiful. You want to apply to an online university, easy degree, whatever you want a degree in. You're going to join the military and you're going to be disciplined. Now, full-time enrollment, enroll on the first of the month for college. You're going to be making an additional $2,500 a month for 3 years straight. And military actually is going to give you a whole bunch of credits towards whatever degree that you go towards or you apply for, because you get a lot of credits for programs that you do in the military, for boot camp in the military. So you're already going to have a bunch of credits. So you could probably finish a bachelor's degree in about 2 years instead of 4. That's already a huge advantage time-wise. Then you could work on your master's and maximize your MGIB bill benefits. But like I was saying, $2,500 extra a month. Now you already got to think, the military pays for your housing and the military pays for your food. So that extra $2,500 a month that you have, you invest that. And you can invest it in the TSP, which is the thrift savings plan, which is the retirement plan. And the Navy will match up to 5%, which is beautiful. So if $200, $300 of your paycheck goes to your TSP, the Navy's matching $200, so $400 a month is going there. But my recommendation is the Vanguard S&p500. Average annual increase of 10% since the 1920s. You invest that $2,500 a month plus whatever you save from your military job into that S&P 500 for your 4 years in the Navy. Now you're gonna live a little boring life, but the older you get, the more you realize that life is all about discipline and life is all about routine. And you want your peace, you want your freedom, you want your control to do whatever you want to do. So you have to be comfortable with doing the uncomfortable, and you have to learn that life is full of struggles and sacrifices. So you have to bow your head down now, put aside your pride, put aside your ego, put aside that car payment, this and that, everything that you want in life, and just grind and work for a couple years and you'll have the life that you wanted. Because everybody knows it's the first 100K is the hardest 100K to make. Now in the Montgomery GI Bill, $2,500 a month, multiply that by 36. 2 times 30, that's 72 grand in the 500. I want to say it's $108,000 that you would have saved, but then you invested it in the S&P 500. And this is just the MGIB bill by itself. $108,000 in 3 years you would have saved as a 21-year-old kid, not including whatever you save from your military job. And now the military does pay well. E5 in the military, me, $8K a month living in San Diego. You add 2,500 to that, that's 10.5K a month you're pulling in. Now, you're not gonna start as an E5, you're gonna have to work your way up, etc., etc. But even if you're making 3K a month plus 2.5K a month, you gotta think that your housing and everything is already paid for. So you're already in the position that an E5 would be in, because we have to go and pay for our housing. Do you not understand how insane that is? Have you ever even seen $2,500? And the fact that you're getting paid to go to college and get a degree for free is insane. You're getting paid for a degree. And yeah, in the military, it has its ups and downs. It is what you make it, right? With leadership and the people in it and everything else. But most jobs that you get, you're probably not gonna like. There's probably gonna be people in those jobs that you don't necessarily get along with. And at least when you join the military, you're doing something with a greater purpose. You're doing something bigger than yourself. You're doing something for your country. You're serving your country, and that's something respectable. And that's a life and a legacy that you can build on as a man or a woman. That's the beautiful thing about the military. You never know. You may want to extend this plan. You won't be able to maximize the MGIB bill benefits, but you can continue to invest in the S&P 500. So the truth is if you start at 18 and you're investing a couple thousand into the S&P 500 for about 10 to 15 years, say, and you utilize the trick that I just said, you're gonna be 18, get out the military at 22, 23, with probably around $150,000 in your bank account if you utilize everything right. That's insane. 150K, first 100K is the hardest to make. Once you have 150K, any basic job that pays your bills, you can basically do whatever you want in life, because you also are gonna build your credit, get whatever car you want, whatever truck, whatever the case may be. And if you ever wanted a house, rental property, condo, the military is gonna pay for that as well. With the VA home loan, $0 down, you can go and get whatever house you want instead of paying rent. Then you can have a return on investment for that house. It's all on how you want to utilize and play your cards and do whatever, right? But the MGIB bill, the Montgomery GI Bill, is the fastest way for anybody to accelerate their wealth in 3 to 4 years. That's realistic. I'm not talking about social media, some influencer hacks, some get rich, get quick scheme. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about actually putting in the work, getting your degree, which is already beneficial, because whatever job you want or whatever degree you want, you're getting paid to get that degree, and then you can go and do that job after the military. I'm not telling you to do 20 years. I'm telling you just put forth an effort, because you don't want to spend 3, 4, 5 years of your life not knowing what you want to do, going to this job, jumping from this job to that job, going to college, dropping out, partying, falling into the wrong social circle, etc., etc. You don't want the undisciplined life where you have to live and you learn. Live and learning takes time, and time is the most valuable thing, and time is working against you. Time is your biggest enemy. So you want to utilize your time wisely and as quickly as possible, because we all have a limited time on this earth. And if you utilize the tips and the tricks that I just gave you, and you perform this life hack, it's common knowledge, but it's not so common, right? If you utilize this, you will be in the top 1% of people at 22, 23 years old, 150K in your bank account. You could go get that CA Corvette, you could go get that nice house, move down south somewhere and live your life full of peace, full of freedom, and have full control. And then you could work on yourself, on your physique, on your health, on your mental health. If you ever wanted to start that YouTube channel, that social media, you could just go and do whatever you want. And now you have a cushion of money so you can figure it out. You have plenty of time, because that money will provide for your rent and your basic bills and utilities and everything else. You just have to be disciplined. You have to be smart. You have to be comfortable doing the uncomfortable. That's, if I had to tell somebody number one way to get wealthy, that's it. Then after the military, like I said, keep investing in the S&P 500 and Vanguard. You could either open up a Vanguard account or you can invest through Robinhood. Personally, I like Robinhood. I hope some of y'all take that advice. And thank you all for listening.